This year marks the 20th anniversary of Riverdance's seminal Eurovision performance, which thrilled and inspired a worldwide audience. The dance form has since enjoyed global success, admired and practiced by people of all ages, backgrounds and ethnicities. But in one small corner of Ulster, there is a traditional form of Irish dance that has been somewhat overlooked. Having resisted wide-scale changes for 70 years, festival dancing is now finding it harder than ever to hold the attention of young dancers, attracted by the lure of the feis. The festival community stands at a crossroads. To survive, must they adopt the wigs, fake tan and glitter of their more popular cousin? Or can this Ulster tradition continue to say no?
Festival dancing is a tradition or a genre of Irish dance that really only exists in Northern Ireland, and in particular counties of Northern Ireland, those east of the Bann. Irish dance, whether we agree with it or not, is looked upon as a Catholic pastime. And festival dance has always been the form of Irish dancing that Protestants felt happy and comfortable with in taking part in. I myself, like many other people, were taught in Protestant halls throughout Northern Ireland. In fact, up to about 20 years ago, the British national anthem used to be played at the end of quite a lot of our festivals. And it goes back in many regards to how festival dancing came about.
Irish dancing was once governed by a single body, set up by the Gaelic League in 1927 to promote the dance form. An Commission, and later its myriad offshoots, became the holders of the feis tradition, which today enjoys worldwide renown for its high levels of technical ability and athleticism. The festival tradition, however, has historically stood apart.
Somewhere around the late 40s, early 50s, several teachers broke away from the main body that governed Irish dance at that time, one of whom was my teacher, Patricia Mulholland. She was classically trained as a violinist, but decided early on in her life to teach dancing. And oh, what a teacher she was. She taught me that it was important to perform above and beyond simply dancing steps. So to move your audience, to connect with them.
The concept that Patricia Mulholland taught, who was one of the mothers of festival dance, if you like, was all around the set dance, the drama that there was within the set dance. There's got to be the little moments where you pause for breath, the little moments where you can make people's hair stand on end.
Therein lies the art, touching people. It's spectacular and it tugs at the heartstrings, and it should be seen by more people. It needs to be seen by more people.
While fervour among its supporters is strong, festival dancing is often perceived as living under the shadow of the more well-known styles of feis dancing. Despite this, the community have so far refused to conform to modern dancing stereotypes, favouring a more pared-back style in both dance and appearance.
I wouldn't want to see anyone wearing a wig at a festival because that's not acceptable within the festival tradition right now. The younger dancers do not wear tan or makeup. I don't think that if that were to come in that would be progress. I strongly believe that would be a backward step for something that has a very clear identity in its own right.
Compromise is not something that we here like to do very often, and it's probably a national trait. But there are times in life, I think, when compromise is the wrong thing to do.
While a strong element within the festival tradition refused to compromise, there is a growing trend in some festival schools to compete in feis competitions. These open platforms invite Irish dancers from all organisations to compete against each other in events like the CRDM Leinster Championships.
When we started our organisation 11 years ago, we wanted to promote and preserve Irish dancing. So that's why we wanted an open platform, so that you had all aspects of Irish dancing, all styles of Irish dancing coming in. When we got the festival dancers in, we welcomed the traditional aspect that they were bringing. They had something to offer. They had beautiful dancers. Just they weren't doing what we were doing. They still won.
They started with much more basic and slower style as dancers, with very little makeup, no wigs on them, and maybe some of them had the pumps that they wear in the festival dancing. As time came on, within about a year or two, they all changed. They all came wearing the wigs, they have the fancy costumes, and they have everything that the Irish dance and competitive dancers would have. You don't have to wear wigs in our organisation, it's your own choice. However, children are looking for these costumes because it's been shown on TV, it's been shown everywhere around where they live, and when people start wearing the solo dresses, everybody wants to be that person.
For dancers from the Seven Towers School of Irish Dancing in Ballymena, who have been producing festival champions for 70 years, feis competition is now a reality, and it seems to be a hit.
I like feis better because you get to meet new friends and do different dances, and you can change what style you want to be. There's the big earrings if you wear a bum wig, and the makeup and the eyelashes, but a festival it's just bland and stuff. No eyelashes.
I love the sparkly eyeshadow, the glitter spray, the diamonds, diamond socks. It's really fun. Everybody just likes to have a bit of sparkle to stand out. It's just the way it is down here. Whenever I have fake tan makeup on, it just makes me feel pretty and special and stuff. It's just really fun.
It's like being an actress, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah.
Would you like to wear this all the time?
Yes.
And who doesn't allow you?
You.
What's that? Pot kettle black?
It's completely different from festival because all you really have to do is straighten your hair and put a bit of natural makeup on, and that's it.
Festivals, I could have Ellie's hair washed, straightened the night before. You get up, you have something to eat, you go to the festival, you put your dress on, you put your socks on, that's it. This can run into an hour and a half prep. Even more sometimes, all depends.
My feis dress is white and pink and it has lots and lots of diamonds on it. The dress and the wigs and the fake tan, it makes it more fun because the festival dresses are nice, but I'd sort of prefer the feis dresses because it's original.
Ellie has just took on a character. When she steps into her feis dress with her tan or makeup, she's a completely different child. She smiles the whole time. In festival, she has this wee glum face. So personally, I feel that it's actually been really good for Ellie to portray a character that she wanted to be, that she can't be in festival.
While cross-platform competition is clearly popular among young festival dancers, it also leads inevitably to them being influenced by styles outside their own tradition.
It's fair enough to say I think that we have seen a bleed in to festival from other styles. I don't view that as progress. I view that as festival dancers morphing into something completely different rather than bringing the purity of our art form to other audiences in its existing form.
Absolutely. Go down there and dance our tradition, but don't try and fit in with everyone else.
yeah, they should go in there and dance as festival dancers, but first of all, the tempos are different. You know, if they want to do slip jig, they have to do fast slip jigs, even though in the festival tradition it's slow slip jigs. So that's a change that they're required to make. And then they'll just sit back and they'll watch who's winning. And the vast majority of the adjudicators are going to relate a lot more to the commission tradition. And therefore, that might be the stuff that wins. And then if you're a festival dancer, you're going to think, well, what? I'm not going to waste my time doing this competition unless I'm in with a chance. So they start to evolve and they say, this is what works. This is what wins. I'm going to start doing that. And they're going to eventually adjust their style. So it could happen that it won't have a unique identity anymore. It will be very much the same.
Festival, they're trying to hold on to their heritage, the tradition of the Irish dancer, but they have to move forward when they come into Feisle. It's not that the Feisle want to take away their heritage and the way they dance, just that's what happens.
One area where festival dancing differs greatly from feis dancing is in the lack of male festival dancers. Ruth Long comes from a family with 47 years' experience in teaching festival dance, but when it came to her own son, she saw no place for him within her tradition.
At that time, the festival style I felt was changing. I did, at that young age, look at the way things were going and how many boys were there, and wondering in a few years' time what Curtis would be dancing, and that was not the style I wanted for my son to be dancing. So I then decided I would send him to a commission dancing school.
Ruth sent Curtis to the Doherty School in West Belfast, where dance teacher Gavin Doherty, also the top name in dress design, has experience in training festival dancers in An Commission style. One of them even has high hopes of winning the top spot in this year's World Championships.
He just won the All-Ireland, so it's looking good for him if he can just keep his head and not do anything silly on the day. He had went as far as he was going to go in festival, and when he came across, he had the ballet pumps, and it was pretty effeminate. He danced more like a girl than a boy, but that was just the way he was taught. That was the style of dancing. Strong! The reason why Ruth got Curtis to move at such a young age was because she thought there was no future for her son in festival. It's an amazing form of Irish dancing. It's brilliant. It's so elegant, it's so graceful. But for boys, it's difficult for a boy who's grown up, who wants to dance like a boy, but can't be taught like a boy.
If I had continued to dance festival, there would probably be about 3 or 4 boys compared to what I'd dance against now. Now I'm under 16 and there's at least 50 to 60 boys, and I find it a lot more challenging now because the boys would have more technical stuff than girls sometimes.
One of the big things, if we ever have kids coming from festival, is the level of fitness. Wouldn't be quite the same. Commission dancers probably would be a lot fitter, a lot more athletic. They're dancing 3-4 times a week. When they don't have class, they're out running with me. They're doing, we're putting them through their paces. They're training as hard, if not harder, than any Olympic athlete.
I would love to go to the shows and tour while I'm young, because there's a lot more in it, if you know what I mean.
The boys in festival, there wouldn't be just as much opportunity for them. You do what you think is best for your child and what you think your child would be happy at. And as I say at this stage, yes, I have made the right decision to move my son.
Despite some movement away from festival, the tradition is beginning to make a mark on the wider world stage. The opening ceremony for the 2013 World Police and Fire Games in Belfast successfully showcased a troupe of 75 dancers, some boys among them, led by current Riverdance lead Lauren Smith.
A lot of people might be surprised me being a festival dancer and being the lead in Riverdance, but I think I was 8 years old when I first seen Riverdance on the Eurovision, and you know, from then that was me hooked. I always wanted to be in an Irish dance show. Like, even when I was in school, if teachers asked me what I wanted to do, I would say, you know, I want to be in an Irish dance show, I want to be in Riverdance, I want to be up there in the big shows. And they say now, you know, like, you need a real job, like, you need to be realistic. And I always just thought to myself, no, like, that's what I'm going to do. I won the Northern Ireland Championships 9 times and the Ulster Championships 5 times. And for me, because festival dance, you know, is my passion, it's what I love, what I have loved since I started Irish dancing, I was satisfied with that. And you know, I didn't strive to go to any other competitions, because for me the Ulsters and Northern Irelands were the highest I could get. But I felt I wanted something more than competition, and I did want to make it my career.
But at that time, a career in the shows was not considered a serious option for young festival dancers.
For me personally, when I was a senior dancer and had achieved what I wanted to achieve, I didn't do it because, simply put, no festival dancer had ever knocked on the door and been accepted. And I thought, well, I don't want to be known as the girl who got rejected from Riverdance because she was a festival dancer, or possibly because she wasn't good enough, but maybe because she was a festival dancer.
Lauren was not to be put off, however, and she is now the first festival dancer to have a principal role in Riverdance. Tonight the troupe will perform for her home crowd in Belfast's Odyssey Arena.
A lot has changed, but I think that Lauren has been instrumental in pushing herself forward, and I think she had to knock the door a couple of times to convince.
I auditioned for Riverdance in 2006. I think really I didn't understand, you know, the level that was needed to be in Riverdance. You know, I really had to turn my feet out more. I had to really work hard at my heavy dancing. So I unfortunately didn't get in. And then a few years later, I sent off another audition tape and just said, you know, I understand now what the level is that's required, and I'd really appreciate if you watched it. So they watched it, and then lucky enough, I was invited for an audition, and here I am.
One of the first auditions I did for Riverdance did include Lauren when I became dance director, and it was pointed out to me that this person wanted to audition to be seen a second time, and that doesn't happen very often in Riverdance. But what I saw was great posture, a great sense of command, that sense of self on the stage. She ticked a lot of the boxes. And then very, very soon afterwards, I mean, it was, you know, across the hierarchy that they thought that this girl was right for lead.
Lauren now leads a 40-strong troupe who represent a variety of dancing backgrounds.
I'm Brendan Doris, and I'm the male principal tonight here in Belfast for Riverdance. I came from a commission background and an Kogol background originally, and then commission. And I was always aware of festival, but Lauren's actually herself and another guy. I've only actually come across them two in my professional career. Everybody brings different things from their backgrounds to the show and the performance. I think that's one of Lauren's greatest strengths, you know, her experience in festival and being the star that she is. Coming here was just a natural progression for her, you know.
As the crowds begin to stream into the Odyssey, Lauren's friends and family are among them, well aware of what Lauren has achieved for both herself and festival dancing.
Tonight's obviously a massive night for us because our big sister's doing lead in the Odyssey. A lot of people put her down, but she's achieved it, so it's a very emotional night for us all to see her on such a big stage, you know, and the support is massive. We've got so many family and friends here, it's unbelievable, just even bumping into them here and now.
I think now the nerves have kind of almost passed a wee bit, and I'm just a wee bit like, oh, can't wait to get out there. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it should be a brilliant show. The atmosphere seems to be great already, and you know, the troupe here is so supportive. Everyone's delighted to be here, so there should be a good buzz on stage as well. So fingers crossed it goes great. Festival dance, it encourages you to make a story out of your performance. You know, you can kind of get into character. So I think, you know, it reflects really well in Riverdance, because when you're in that lead role, you know, you have to get across the story of the show to the audience, and you have to be graceful. You have to be a powerful woman at the same time as well. So I think my festival background has really stuck well with me. It's just so special. It means so much to me, you know, to come here to Belfast tonight and perform it to a home crowd, and especially there's a bunch of festival dancers seated all around the audience. You know, the atmosphere is amazing, and I hope, you know, younger dancers can look up to this and, you know, believe in themselves and follow their dreams and believe that it can happen. Yes, you might get a knock here or there, but, you know, you can't give up.
Years of Riverdance, and 20 years it's taken to get a festival dancer as a lead dancer in Riverdance, and we're all very emotional tonight, and we're celebrating the fact that this fabulous dancer from within our ranks has broken through finally, and is not only dancing a lead but is really shining up there and expressing herself in the way she was taught.
The reason why I don't think that it's anywhere too late for festival dancing is because everyone that I have encountered loves it. Even Fèis people who have not encountered festival dancing before love it. They love the naturalness of it.
Whether or not festival dancing can resist the pull of the Fèis remains to be seen. Ultimately, the fate of the tradition now lies with a new generation of dancers.
Next tonight, the RTE News here on 1, and that's followed by Primetime at 9:35, and there's more on that programme during the break. While later, a documentary film explores the road to the Easter Rising and the independent state that emerged in 1922. A Sovereign People is at 10:15.